Chat on this. We did this the whole time. He was 6 years old when his mama died, so he was changed. She was all he had, and because Bud had no father, he was on his own. And he went to this home as a 6-year-old. No friends, no mother, no father,
But these
or nothing.
clues from his mother.
Right, but at 6 years old.
Yeah, you don't understand those clues.
Exactly, but now don't you think he's starting to understand? Like some of these clues were. His mom said, well, what were some of these clues?
When one door will close, another one will open.
And when you're 6 years old, you don't understand.
He doesn't, but now he's
understanding.
understanding.
He was talking about you better, like in the beginning, about how 6 is a hard age because you better understand, and if you don't, they'll come to clean to big licks that'll knock you out over instead of just taps and stuff.
Yeah, and you see the way the mother, we already talked about this, that the way the mother says all these things, it's as if she knew that she wasn't going to be around for long. But and now we have this evidence. I don't remember where, but he said actually straight out that I think my mother didn't know knew she wasn't going to be around for a long time.
And so
the don't worry thing. Don't worry, I'll tell you this. Don't worry, I'll tell you all this when you're older.
I think that was at the beginning.
Right. So let's talk about. So we've come to the point that his mom she loved him so much that she was preparing him for when she was going to be gone, right? Yeah. And so what happened when his mother died?
He was sent to a home.
Right, but with what?
Nothing. Except his
Nothing?
suitcase.
What? Wait, right there. Suitcase.
His clues for his
father.
What's in his suitcase that's so special to him? Like, we have so much proof. When he went to the Amoses, would he have even stepped out of their door without his suitcase? Mm-hmm. And he was they had a gun to guard it. He took that gun and threw it away so nobody could steal his suitcase. And he knew the knots of the twine. He knew how everything.
He could take a quick glance at the suitcase and see that if anyone had touched it. And remember, he used to go through his whole. Because he was.
That's the only key to his whole mystery
of
life.
His suitcase is kind of him. It contains everything about him. It's not just like a physical suitcase. It's kind of a mental suitcase because everything kind of represents him, like who he is. And without those things, like the way.
It's his only clue.
Wait, what do you mean it's a mental suitcase?
That it kind of contains himself. It contains everything about himself, and not just everything he has, but the clues about his father. And then the knife that kind of represents that he needs to protect himself with something, and he could be out on the run. And the blanket, and that he may be sleeping anywhere.
But
he doesn't know where he'll be sleeping the next day. He doesn't know if he'll have a clean blanket to sleep in.
I think the mental suitcase is more how he lies so much and he keeps everything to himself, right?
Rules and things to live by.
Right.
I think he turns to his mental and physical suitcase just so he can look back and say and remind himself how to survive in an environment that he's going through. He's on the run. He's on the limb, and I think he goes back into his suitcase to sort of mentally see who he is as a person.
He lies as a cover-up to cover up all his troubles and all that's really there. And there's that mental suitcase.
And in the Tiger Rising, remember Rob? Did Rob have a mother?
No.
He had a dead mother.
Exactly.
He had a mystery mother.
And so does Bud. So
But he has a mystery father also.
But let's not concentrate on the father. Let's concentrate on how he kept all the things to himself. Don't you think that qualifies here when Bud is lying so much and not telling anybody?
His lying is
Has he told anybody about before he went to Miss Thomas? And before, did he tell anybody about really his feelings?
No, because he had no one to trust.
Exactly, except Deeza Malone. But Deeza Malone was someone who he'd never seen.
He didn't even trust her. he was afraid to tell anything to her. And also I think that it was sort of pushing him because he said lying to a kid was different than to lying to an adult. But I think he was also scared to tell anything to even her.